There's something that I've been, noticing lately. And I really did not see it, at first because on the surface it looked like, I was trying to change. I was thinking differently, I started reflecting more, becoming more aware, of myself, of things that happen around me. But at the same time, something wasn't shifting. I couldn't understand why, you know. It felt like I was moving forward, mentally, but somehow, I was ending up in the same place, you know, same patterns, same cycles, and same internal, conversations. And for a while, I thought maybe, I just needed, more discipline. I thought I needed more clarity, or even more time. But unfortunately, it wasn't that. I started realizing something that was, uncomfortable. I wasn't just, experiencing the patterns. I was actually feeding it, and that actually changed everything for me because, now the question actually shifted, from why does this, keep happening to me to, what am I still participating in? And because sometimes, the things that we are trying to break free from don't survive, on their own. They survive, because something in our life is, reinforcing it, and it could be what, you keep watching. It could be what you always, listen to. It could be what conversations that you keep having and you keep entertaining, or even, the thoughts that you keep replaying, in your mind. Because not everything that affects you comes from, from outside. Sometimes it's what you keep returning to internally, and that's the part, we don't always want to admit because it's easy, to say that I'm trying to change, than to ask, am I still, feeding what I say that I want to leave, because at the same time, I'm not saying this from a place of, being judgmental.